Alright, what's good with y'all? So, like I said, I was gonna be consistent and I'm gonna try to drop a video every single day. So, with that being said, we have another reaction video. I do not have my face up in here. Guess what? We gonna have to get to like 1K, 2K, 3K, 10K, something before I put a face with the channel and a name or whatever. Anyways, y'all don't care about me. Y'all care about the video. That being said, we have a video from Far From Average. Now, Far From Average, I would say, is a self-improvement channel. Self-improvement channel for men. It's a channel that I used to watch probably like a couple years ago. And I've gained a lot of key things from this channel that's helped me in my self-improvement journey and all that. But it's a lot of things that I disagree with. And I say that because let me preference this by saying I feel like a man having quote unquote game is 9 times out of 10 manipulation and control, and you playing upon how a woman is and you're exploiting those things. Now, mind you, I know they be talking about the red pill community, the blue pill community, all that. I'm neither one. Like, I believe in the Bible, I believe in God, I believe in that, and I believe that in reality, the Bible teaches you game. You could look at Jesus Christ. You could look at Solomon. I mean, Solomon had 500 concubines. Like, he had a whole bunch of women and all that. And if you analyze the verses in the Bible, it could low-key teach you how to get good with women. Not saying that you should be using that to get women. But I'm just saying, like, a lot of the key things in the Bible you can use as game. Me personally, I believe that you should pray for your spouse and you should improve yourself in certain areas like confidence, perseverance, being a hard worker, intelligence, wisdom, your own physique, the way that you look and all that. So yeah, that's my point of view. But we about to watch this video. So it says, do this one thing, get women forever. So I'm about to turn the audio up a little bit so we can, you know what I'm saying? But anyways, 3, 2, 1, click.
In the context of women, and once you understand this, you can basically use a woman's greatest superpower against her, not in a negative, derogatory way, but in a way that will dramatically increase your attraction and the way that women view you. So with that said, let's get right into it. Now, what you have to understand is that there is a truth that once you understand fully will completely change the way that women view you. And this truth is so incredibly simple that most guys completely miss it. Now, what this truth is that the more selective that you are with your attention, the more attractive that you will become. Now, most men don't get this. They don't truly understand this. And they think that if you shower a woman with endless attention, if you give her compliments, if you give her availability, that you will be able to win them over. But here's...
Okay, let me comment on that. So basically what he's saying, and that's a toxic manipulation tactic, which is called love bombing. Love bombing is basically when you throw a woman with a whole bunch of compliments, you buy her flowers, you do things for her and all that. And the moment that she doesn't do what you want, you attract what you are doing. Now, mind you, the whole ideology in this society is if you get a whole bunch of women and you have a whole bunch of sex with women, that you're top tier, oh yeah, you like that, you nice. That's society. But in reality, I've always said that's like low-level game. High-level game is you have a whole bunch of women that seek you, want to have sex with you, want you, all that, but you don't give them attention. You don't give them the time of day. Nobody said that you have to be mean or rude, but you just don't play upon what they're going for. So mind you, let's say that you work at a job and all the women there are attracted to you and like you and want you, but you don't want none of them. You staying to yourself, working hard, doing your thing, focused on what you got going on, but you're not focused on them. None of them can say that they slept with you. None of them can even say that you flirted with them, but they all like you. And the reason being that you're ignoring them or nothing, like you're ignoring them and you're not giving them the time of day, is the simple fact of you're waiting for that God-fearing woman, potentially. You're waiting for that top-tier woman. You're waiting for that very intellectual, disciplined, virtuous woman. And that's why you don't spread yourself out thin, because realistically, the more bodies that you have, the lower value you see yourself. If you have 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100 some bodies, you view yourself as very low value. And mind you, I say this for myself because I'm not going to say that I have 100 bodies, but I have the amount of bodies that's like, I value myself low. And I learned late that guess what? The less bodies that you have, the higher value that you have. It ain't nothing like getting somebody that hasn't been touched or dealt with. I'm going to say your value goes down the moment that somebody else could say, oh, I had him before. Oh, I had her before. That's ugly. Imagine you dating somebody and girls telling her like, oh yeah, he slid into my DMs 2 years ago. Oh yeah, me and him used to date. Oh yeah, me and him did that. That's ugly for men or women. And that's the objective truth. That is the truth. And people don't like to admit it. People like to think that, oh, because you having sexual relations with everybody, oh yeah, he's high value, he's like that. No, that's a lust issue. And that's a lust issue that will turn into, oh, you don't like women no more. He gonna go from liking women to wanting threesomes, being polygamous, to now he like, I ain't gonna say it, to being, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, let me get back to the video. I'm ranting.
Just the irony. Giving too much actually makes you far less attractive. It makes you far less appealing.
That's true.
And if you're wondering why this is,
more is less and less is more. More is less and less is more. But see, that goes back to that whole game and control and all that. At the end of the day, objectively be yourself. Now, mind you, who you are, if you are a weirdo, you have weird tendencies and you do weird things, that's not going to help you. But if you chill, cool, you like to laugh, you like to joke, be yourself. Now, mind you, improve yourself in categories of conversation, confidence, and all these different things. No social cues and all that. Because mind you, you don't want to be a weirdo around women. And as long as you're not a weirdo around women, you'll be cool. You know, social cues, all that, you'll be straight.
It's because women instinctively value what feels scarce to them, and attention given too freely has
You don't want to smoke.
They didn't hit me with an ad.
Trying to outsmart nicotine?
You don't want to smoke.
Sign up for X Program's free 24/7 support and find a quit that sticks.
You will pay
absolutely no value.
Now watch this. I ain't skipped the ad because I was trying to see what the girl looked like.
Okay, so the men who truly stand out, the men who women actually chase after, the men who women actually want, these are the men who are, okay, and this is key, these are the men who are just as picky and selective as the women that they pursue. Okay, so if you really think about this, if you look at the average woman, right, even a woman who is moderately attractive, what is this woman's greatest superpower? And the answer is very, very simple. A woman's greatest superpower is basically her ability to be selective. Okay, if you look at women in general are naturally far more picky and far more selective with who they give their time and their attention to.
Now listen, that's basically what I just said. But yeah, when it comes to men versus women, and I apologize for the computer sounds. Listen, we gonna update and we're gonna adapt and we're going to upgrade soon. So don't worry, we still gonna be consistent. If y'all hear computer noises in the background, don't focus too much on it. Focus on me and focus on the video. But yeah, women are picky. Or when women are either picky or they're very secretive. So they have a lot of men that's in their phone or whatever, which you won't know. Or they're very, very picky, especially with who they go out in public with. Now, when it comes to men, a lot of men are very, very lustful, very, very controlled by their hormones and what they want sexually. So due to that, they won't be as selective. They'll go for any and everything, and they'll be very, very loose with it, meaning they won't be secretive with it, and it'll be out there for everyone to know, and that's not cool. That's not cool. One, you shouldn't be secretive. You should just be very, very picky in general.
And the reason why they do this is because they sort of believe in their mind that they are kind of like a rock star or they're like a celebrity or something. And you can't blame women for this, because why wouldn't they believe they're a celebrity if everywhere they go, people are constantly looking at them? People are staring at them like they are, famous or something. This is what women are used to. Even moderately attractive women basically get this effect everywhere that they go. Okay, especially when they're wearing, clothes and their hair is, done up, and they're wearing clothes that are really...
It's a verse in the Bible. I might butcher it. I know it says in the Bible, don't look at a woman lustfully. If your right hand causes you to sin, cut it off. If your eye causes you to sin, gouge it out. That's why sometimes I practice, because mind you, I used to be a heavy catalyst of going out and any fine, attractive woman I see, I wouldn't necessarily stare, but I'll definitely look at them. And so a lot of times I try to practice when I go out. Don't even look. Don't even look at a woman. Don't even look at her. Because the thing about it is, if a woman catches your gaze, you already lost unless she sees you as attractive. See, I prefer, now mind you, I'm single, not married, I don't have anybody, nothing like that. But I would prefer it be like I'm in my own bubble, in my own space. Mind you, I might be looking just to see my surroundings and all that, but it's not necessarily on a lustful state of mind where I'm going in and I'm like, okay, ooh, she looks good. She looks good too. She looks good. Nah, I would rather prefer me walk in my own bubble, being sociable, doing my thing, and I just pop up on an attractive woman and I strike up conversation like that. Not me actively being lustful, looking like, oh, I gotta go talk to her. Does that make sense? I don't know if it do, but I'll continue.
I'm gonna shut up for revealing and stuff. Women are absolutely used to this, okay? So most women, just as a default setting, they tend to walk around almost like they are a famous celebrity. So a woman's greatest superpower is basically her ability to be selective, okay? And the reason why is because for every one woman that a man might have as an option, women have probably at least 10.
True.
Okay, it's really that skewed. And so let me break this down for you. Now, if we talk about perceived value, people naturally assign more value to things that are rare or hard to get. This is called the scarcity principle in psychology. And if you look at women, women are more selective because they have options, and they have lots of options. Okay, and the reason why most men tend to come off as, desperate, and they tend to come off as a guy who has no value, is because most men don't have any options, okay? And so women have essentially learned just from the fact that they get attention everywhere that they go. They have guys groveling at their feet everywhere that they go. They have basically learned that their attention has great value. And so they don't give it away very easily.
Now, I'm going to be honest. When it comes to men, now mind you, I would say that I'm a mildly attractive guy. I say on my worst day, I'm like a 7, 7.5. On a good day, I can be like a 9, 8.5, 9. I'm not going to sit here and say that I have a lot of options. My options come from the fact that I know how to have conversation. I know how to be confident. Yes, it may be a lot of women who look at me and they're like, oh yeah, he's an attractive dude. But you have to have more than just attraction. Attraction gets you in the door, but who you are, conversation and all that. You know what I'm saying? Your confidence, all that. Are you a leader? Like who you are, that gets you the options. So it was a job that I worked at. I think I can say this. I worked at FedEx a couple years ago, and I used to raise my value in there because I would converse and build my conversational skills up with everybody. So when I would shoot my shot with girls, they'd be like, oh, he's cute, but he's cool too. And because of that, my options would grow like that. Now, mind you, when it comes to women, they don't have to do anything. Their options come from the fact that they're attractive. They may be promiscuous. They may be thick. They might have this. They might have that. It comes from an all looks-based thing. When it comes to men, your options and all that, some girls may see you as an option just because you're attractive, but a lot of times you have to have more things. Look at it like this, right? I hate to use this as an example, but men watch pornography. Now, women do too, but more men watch pornography, watch OnlyFans, all that, Twitter stuff, all that, right? Because they like what they see. Women read porn. Can I even say that? I don't care. Women read porn. I don't care. I hope I don't get flagged. But yeah, women read it, which are romance novels, 50 Shades of Grey, all that, right? So what you say means something. Being able to talk, being able to speak, focusing on what you say, all that stuff matters so much. It does. Looks get you in the door, but who you are, what you say, and all that matters the most. That's why, like the art of seduction and all that, no, you need to learn the art of conversation, which, not even the art of conversation, just get good at conversation. Focus on your social cues. Pay attention to what to say. I mean, a lot of people are narcissistic, so a lot of times people want to talk about themselves. Ask good questions. Ask enthralling, deep, in-depth questions that people have never asked them before to get them to think.
They're very, very selective. They're very picky. But here's the twist. When you become, as a man, selective with your attention, what you're actually doing is you're using this superpower and you're flipping it around, okay? And you're basically signaling to women that your time and energy are just as valuable, if not more valuable, than hers. And what this does on a psychological level is it changes everything, okay? Suddenly, you're not just another guy in the crowd. You're not just every other guy out there who is absolutely desperate for attention, a guy who gives away his attention so freely. All of a sudden, you're the type of man who has the same effect or the same...
To be so for real, last year was kind of a lot for me. I was just feeling kind of like burned out and...
same clout almost as, an attractive woman. Now, if we go a little bit deeper into the neuroscience about this, if you look at the neuroscience, it tells us that the brain's reward system actually thrives on anticipation. Okay, so what this means...
Now I'm going to be 100% because he's not including this. This only works if you're attractive or if the girl finds you attractive. That's why making sure your hygiene, a good haircut, clothes that you wear. And I'm not saying that you got to buy designer or nothing like that, but try to dress nicely. You know what I'm saying? I believe heavily that you should try to dress nicely and present yourself well, but having a nice haircut, going to the gym, working out, not being sloppy, like looking good. Like this only works if you look good or if you're some type of attractive to a girl. If you're not, she don't even see you. She doesn't even see you. So it don't matter if you're selective with your attention or not. She doesn't see you unless you're doing something manipulative, like you have a great personality and you give her your personality, meaning you talk to her, speak to her, build that bond, and then you just pull away. Besides from that, you have to have some type of, you got to get yourself together.
Is that when something is not easily accessible, like a man's attention, a woman's brain will release dopamine and it will make the pursuit that she has to go on in order to get your attention from you, it will make that pursuit feel exciting and meaningful. In other words, her brain will release...
And see, that goes back to the whole game thing, having game. Like this is game, manipulation, control. Because you're trying to control her through doing certain things. Dude, if your personality is not that and you don't want to do that, don't do that. But me personally, I feel like you should develop in yourself a purpose. I know red pill people, they always talk about purpose and all that. But a man should have some type of goal or purpose that they're chasing. And because of that, first is God. 2, purpose, family. You know what I'm saying? Then it should be women after friends and all that. Women shouldn't be your number one, so you shouldn't be focusing heavily on women. With that being said, you should naturally not give attention for the simple fact of you're so focused on your purpose, God, family, and the things that you need to get done. So this should be a natural thing. So, yeah.
Dopamine when she has to pursue your attention. okay? This is exactly the concept behind why people chase luxury items. It's the concept behind why people chase rare experiences, and yes, the attention of someone who doesn't give it freely. Okay, this is why women chase the attention of certain men. It's because they don't give their attention away freely. It's because they are very, very selective with who they give their attention to. Okay, and you can create the same exact effect even if you don't have any options. Okay, and so when you do this, when you start to be very, very selective with your attention in terms of who you give it to, especially when it comes to women, you can make women wonder why you're not like every other guy, because most other guys give their attention away freely. Okay, so women are going to wonder what it is that makes you different, why you haven't chased her, and why you're not giving her all of your attention like most guys tend to do. So being selective is not just about playing games. It's about confidence. It's about being picky with your time and your attention. And it's about showing that you know your worth, even if you don't have a lot of options, okay? Now, this ties into a concept that's called self-respect projection. And so what this means...
So basically what he's getting into, I mean, yeah, these are things that you should have already. But I know some people, they're going to watch this and they're going to do it purposely with no purpose or anything like that. So at that point, that's when it becomes a game. It's not a game if this is actually who you are, and you have these traits instilled inside of you. Like, if you already go to the gym, you already working on a purpose, you already working on a business, you working on this, you working on that, then giving your attention less will not be an issue for you. But if you don't have nothing going on and you just doing it because you like, this is going to get women, then yeah, you're trying to play games. Like, I even be vulnerable with myself. Like, I used to, when it came to texting women, like, I wouldn't text them back for maybe like 2-3 hours. But I didn't have nothing going on. So it's more so like, let me keep looking at the clock. All right, bet when it hit 3, I'm going to text her. And that's like trying to be manipulative and doing stuff like that. It's crazy.
Means is that if you respect your own time and energy, guess what? Other people will naturally do the same. Now, on the flip side, if you're always available, if you're always giving women your attention and giving them all of your attention because you are desperate for validation from women or you're desperate for attention from them, then you signal that you don't actually value yourself. And so why should women value you if you don't value yourself? Why should they value your attention and your time if you don't value these things? So here's another angle to consider. When you're selective, and this is the coolest thing about this, when you start to become very picky and selective with your attention and who you give it to and how much of these things that you give to women, something really interesting happens, because you are essentially able to give off or create the appearance of abundance or the appearance of having many options, even if you don't actually have options, okay? If you look at the number one trait of high value men, if you look at the number one trait of men who are extremely desirable, the type of men that women will chase to the end.
Also, I like to say this, the idea of a high value male is subjective. A high value male could be anything. It just depends on the man. A high value male could be a rich man. A high value male could be a very religious man. A high value male could be somebody who has a high position in a job. A high value male could be a leader. A high value male could be a pastor. It's subjective. I think that me personally, in my space, and for myself, I believe that a high value male is someone who is Christ-like, masculine, disciplined, a leader, bears the fruits of the spirit. It's a lot of different qualities that I can name. It's not just one specific thing. I don't think money specifically makes you a high value male, because me personally, I believe that a man with a lot of money that doesn't have high value tendencies will do weird things. Like somebody who isn't over their lust, that's rich, they'll buy prostitutes. They'll go to strip clubs. And I don't think that going to strip clubs is high value. I don't think that. I think that a high value male would be monogamous and have a very virtuous woman. that is loyal, disciplined, a God-fearing woman, and all that. That's what I think. But see, it's subjective. That's what I think. Other people think differently.
Of the earth, these men all do something that is very, very subtle. And at the same time, it is something that women pick up on. It is a literal sign or a cue that women pick up on that tells them that that man is high value, okay? And this subtle thing, it's so incredibly simple, it's so incredibly subtle, but all that it really is they are being very selective and very picky with their attention, okay, in terms of how much they give their attention and to whom they give it to in terms of women, okay? And so if you're not giving all your attention to one woman, what this suggests on an unconscious level to every woman that you interact with is that you have other options, even if you don't actually have those options. This is a psychological trick called implied social proof, where people basically...
Peep how he said a psychological trick. A psychological trick. Game. Tricks. You know what I'm saying? Control, manipulation. Bruh, don't go out here trying to trick people and do stuff like that. Like, mind you, these psychological tips can help you. But at the end of the day, be yourself. And when I say be yourself, like, if you know that you have tendencies that are weird and can be bad, fix them. Fix them. And pay attention to yourself and the things that you do. But objectively, be yourself. If you are a sociable person, be a sociable person. If you are quiet, be quiet. Like, if you believe in God will send you the person that you're supposed to be with. And you won't have to do all these tricks and all that. Because it's like, okay, what about when you actually get the woman that you want? You got to maintain doing these tricks and these certain things. And you got to sacrifice being yourself at that point. And that's honest.
Assume that because you are selective with your attention, because you are selective with your time and things like that, that you must have the ability to choose, okay? And women are naturally drawn to men who seem desirable to others, okay? They're drawn to men who have options, men who have social proof, even if it's just implied social proof, okay? It's human nature to want what others want, especially for women. In fact, one of the greatest, most powerful...
Well, what did I say in the beginning? I said, number one top tier level game is all the girls want you, but you don't give your attention and you don't give nothing to them. None of them can say they slept with you. None of them can even say they got your number, but they all want you. They all want you. They are attracted to you, but you didn't give them none of your attention or nothing like that. Why? Because you're waiting for that one virtuous woman that exceeds all of them.
Signs that a man can give off is pre-selection, which is the idea.
Matter of fact, I'm done with this video. This ain't no this the far from average or nothing. He's a very intellectual, intelligent man and person, and this is a great channel, and I've definitely gotten tips from this when a couple years ago when I was a little bit younger. But this video getting way too long. It's getting 30 minutes, and I gotta, like, you know what I'm saying, I gotta cut it down. I done turned the 8-minute and 54-second video into 30-minute video almost. So yeah, this was far from average. Do this one thing, get women forever. But anyways, this is room 601. And the way that you get in the room is if you knock, and that knock is basically a subscribe. And once you subscribe, you in the room, and then we chilling with gang. I'm out.